Hello students, today we will be taking our class on chapter 7 on page 236 on the topic safety and first aid. In this chapter we will be learning how accidents occur and to find out the causes, the treatments and how to prevent them from happening. Your first assignment is to note down the colored words with serial number them in your science notebook. It will start with collide, emergency care, till serial number 14 which will be allergic reaction. Now let's start reading together. Accidents can happen anytime or anywhere. For example, you may trip over your toys and fall down, or you may tumble down the steps of a staircase. On roads, two vehicles may collide. Some basic emergency care can be given to an accident victim before professional medical help reaches him or her. Simple medical treatment given immediately to an injured person before a doctor comes or before the person can be taken to a hospital is called first aid. So when we talk about first aid, it means the treatments which are given to an injured person before a doctor comes or before we visited a doctor, such as applying bandage or betadines or some creams before a doctor comes or on a wounded person will be called a first aid. Let us learn more about accidents and first aid so that we will be better prepared in case of an emergency.
Fire accidents. In here, you will learn how fire accidents occur. Fires can be destructive. Fire accidents can occur both inside and outside the house. Some of the important causes of fire accidents are as follows. Number 1. Electrical short circuit. 2. Gas cylinder leakage. 3. Careless bursting of crackers. 4. Hot oil left on the stove can catch fire. Number 5. A child playing with a matchbox might light a matchstick unknowingly.
So students, be very careful to prevent yourself from fire accidents. Do not touch electric wires or be very careful around gas cylinders and be careful while bursting of crackers during Diwali or Christmas. And be careful also when hot oil is left on the stove as it could cause your skin a lifetime scar. And playing with matchbox or lighters as you could set the whole house on fire.
Fire fighting. Number 1. When there is a fire in a building, get out of the building immediately. Point number 2. An adult should use a fire extinguisher or sand to put out small fires. In case of a major fire means big fires. Those are such as fires that caught the whole house on fires or the whole rooms on fires. The nearest fire station should be contacted immediately. Point number 3. If there is a fire, an adult should turn off the cooking gas. Open all doors and windows immediately. Do not turn electrical connections on or off. In case of a gas leak, call the fire department or gas agency for help. Point number 4. If a person's clothes catch fire, a thick blanket should be wrapped around the victim and the victim should be rolled on the ground. This will put out the fire by cutting off oxygen supply. If the victim runs, the fire may spread more quickly. Point number 5. In case of fire due to electrical short circuit, the mains must be switched off. Never use water to put out such fires. Point number 6. If a fire is due to petrol or kerosene, use sand to put out such fires. Never throw water in such cases. The fire may spread. Burns. Burns can be caused by the following. Number 1. Fire accidents. This is the main cause of all kinds of fire accidents or burns in your body. The second is boiling water. When you accidentally touch a boiling water. Chemicals. Chemicals could be like acids or some other substances that can harm your body. 4. Steam. Steam is one which the evaporation which comes out when you cook something, when you boil something, some water. Then hot oil. Burns need immediate attention and first aid. So these are the 5 cases which cause burns. There are different kinds of burns: minor, severe, third degree, and chemical burns. The causes and treatment of different types of burns are given below. In these columns are the types of burn, and in the middle column are the causes of the burns, and in the third columns are the treatment. Minor burns. The causes of minor burns are skin coming in contact with hot vessels, or drops of hot oil falling on the skin. The treatment will be to hold the burnt part under running water. 2. Wrap the burnt part in towel or handkerchief soaked in ice cold water. The third treatment will be apply antiseptic cream after the burning sensation subsides. This means you have to apply those antiseptic creams after the burning or the feelings of the burning cool down or calm down. Severe burns. The causes are boiling water spilling on a person, or clothes of a person catching fire. And the treatments are apply antiseptic cream on the affected area. The second treatment is to wrap the affected area in sterile gauze. The third treatment is to call an adult and consult a doctor. The third type of burn are
third degree burns.
The causes is severe heat penetrating the skin and damaging tissues. The treatment is to immediately hospitalize. This means to go to the hospital directly as soon as possible. The fourth type of burn is chemical burns. The causes is acid spilling on a person's body. The treatment is to wash off the acid immediately with plenty of water and to keep the burn covered with gauze pad to protect from dust. And thirdly, to consult a doctor immediately. These are the answers of your page 238 exercise questions. Fractures. Breaking of bones is called fracture. Falls or other accidents may cause fractures. Even a fall from a staircase sometimes causes fracture. There are two main types of fractures: simple fracture and compound fracture. Simple fracture: only the bone breaks and the surrounding tissues and muscles are not damaged. Compound fracture: a bone breaks and the surrounding tissues and muscles also get damaged. There may be bleeding as well. The broken pieces of a bone may separate completely. The most common symptom of a fracture is swelling and pain around the injured area. The pain becomes worse when the injured part is moved or pressed. The only way to confirm a fracture is by taking an X-ray. First aid for fractures. Point number 1. The broken bones should be immobilized. That means not to be allowed to move. It is important to immobilize the area both above and below the injured bone. A splint may be used to tie the bones. Rolls of newspaper, a ruler, that means a scale, or a stick can be used as a splint. If an arm is broken, it can be put in a sling for additional support. This is sling. If a leg is broken, some padding can be put between the legs and the broken leg can be tied to the good leg. The injured leg should preferably be raised above the level of the heart. This can be done by placing pillows under the leg. Point number 2. Ice packs can be wrapped around the injured area to reduce pain and swelling. Thirdly, call a doctor as soon as possible. 4. Do not move the injured person, as movement can make the fracture worse. Point number 5. Do not apply pressure to a compound fracture to stop the bleeding. Point number 6. Do not massage the injured area. Bites and stings. Snake bites and insect bites or stings can cause intense pain and or swelling if not treated promptly and correctly. These bites or stings may lead to death. First aid of snake bite. If a person is bitten by a snake, follow the steps given on the following page as first aid. Keep the bitten part of the body lower than the heart. It is important to stop the flow of blood to the heart. To do this, tie a bandage as tight as you can just above the bitten part. 3. Clean the bitten area with soap and water. 4. Do not try to suck blood from the bite. 5. Do not use any ointment. 6. Call an ambulance. Rush the person to the hospital. First aid for insect sting. Insects such as bees, scorpions, and wasps can sting people. The two greatest risks from most insect stings are allergic reactions and infections. Follow these steps as first aid for insect stings. Point number 1. Some insects may leave their sting behind. Pull out the sting carefully. Point number 2. Wash the affected area with soap and water. Point number 3. Put some ice on the bite or wash it with cold water to reduce swelling and pain. 4. Consult a doctor.
Now all you have to do is copy down the spellings and notes on your notebook and learn them. And also to solve the exercise answers and write them down on your textbook itself and learn them at home.